Let's go. Constant quest of knowledge. Where's my computer? Right. Over there. And he's like,
last year we did all strength coaches, which was cool and fun, and we know a lot of those guys, but this year we're doing all our friends, and it's a lot different. It's a lot better.
Oh yeah, let's go.
Especially for me, being new to the TV space, we'll call it.
Yeah,
I was like, this is a little laid back, a little more laid back, but still just as enjoyable. So appreciate you being here, my brother.
Oh, Ike, Eric, I couldn't be more excited. So let's go.
Come on. Well, let's just jump into it, man, because I think it's so funny. Obviously, you see Ike wearing the West Side barbell with the MP
Throwback
on it.
Oh, shit. I didn't even recognize that. Let's go.
Look, we were sitting here talking, man. We were just like, man, you remember Muscle Pharm? We were trying to figure out when it was that we were all hyped up about it. And I said, you know what? I said, I think I have a shirt in the closet. He was like, go get it.
Bro,
so if I sound a little out of breath, it's because I was sprinting to the closet to see if I could pull this thing out.
See,
man.
sadly, Cory G, all my stuff doesn't fit anymore because this was high school, bro, and I was an XL, and I ain't seen an XL in years, baby. It's been a decade and a half. I
haven't grown. I haven't grown. All right, cat's out the bag.
So
I remember having that conversation with Louis about doing that collab shirt, and I just remember, man, how excited I was to be able to partner with a legend like that. And we had done an ad together. I think it was even in Powerlifting USA. And I was just like, I was wearing a West Side hoodie and he was wearing a Muscle Pharm shirt.
Wow.
And I just remember, because I saw West Side in my second meet ever. I just talked about it I just posted about it. Like I used to train at this gym that was inside a trailer park. I couldn't make this shit up if I tried. And it sounds wild, but I lived in a trailer. So driving to the trailer park to work out didn't seem like much of a stretch. It's just a regular day for Cory G back then, right? And so I signed up for my second powerlifting meet ever. I'm hype about it. I just got me a bench shirt. I'm gonna get it together. I have a horrible meet. I only make one lift. I only end up benching like 250 pounds or whatever. I'm like 18 years old, whatever. And Louis benches 600 on his 50th birthday, and I watch it. And it's on West Side versus World. They got the video of it, and it's grainy as fuck. But I'm sitting in the second row, and this is the gym I'm training at. Like this is like my home gym. When West Side walked in, this is 1998. I'm like, who are these dudes? And they all look as big as you, Eric. And it's like, they look like they're in a biker gang. And Louis bringing his own bars. They're wearing denim shirts. It's intense as fuck. And I'm just like, yo, because I was more like reading about bodybuilding at that time.
Yeah.
But I was starting to get into powerlifting, but I wasn't really reading Powerlifting USA and that. Remember, there's no internet at this time, right? I'm just learning from old dudes at the gym, my granddad, and reading like Muscle and Fitness and shit. And just seeing that intensity, I was like, I don't know what this is, but this is like, I like this. This is me. I don't look like these dudes, but in here, that's what it is. And so, yeah, for sure. And I always was drawn to intensity, and I like to challenge myself, and I've always been that way. And I was always like a 6-man kind of underdog type of vibe, athlete. And so then when I saw and met Louis 10 years later, I got to share with them that I watched that, and I was, there as a younger, young lifter, and that what it did for me. And then when I got a chance to be around those guys and learn from them, he started to understand that I was probably never going to be a full-time member or be like them, but I was also wired crazy in my own way and just wanted to be there and see what I was capable of. And he was willing to teach me and help me, and it was really nice.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So like you said, at the time you were doing more bodybuilding and just studying fitness in general. What kind of, drew you to that powerlifting meet just at that time in your life?
Yeah, I think I always wanted to be strong. I think because I graduated high school 165, but I was a 300-pound bencher. So I was pretty strong upper body wise. I wasn't around a lot of people that were in the deadlifting and squatting at that time. I got into that as I got older. I like the lights on. I just think I wanted to compete. So to me, it was after high school, sports was over because I wasn't really good enough to play anything in college. I was like, how am I going to stay competitive? And I didn't even know how like good this was for me, but it was like, I need a team, which is whoever I'm training with. I need practice times, which is the days I train. And I need show day or meet day, which is game days.
Yeah.
I've had that represented in my life from 17 years old. My last meet, I did a bench meet this last year, but really my last full meet was at 44, and I'll be 48 this year. So it's like, what, for 30 years, I had a training crew. I competed 4 to 5 times a year, whether it's bodybuilding, powerlifting, or done these magazine things. I always was training for something. I always had a date on the calendar. I always evolved and I was pushing. And so to me, I never really lost that competitive edge because I was coming in here and battling against guys that were way stronger than me almost every morning at 4 a.m. And so like there was elite parts of that for like a decade where it was like fucking, man, we had 12 guys front squat 405 one morning, back to back to back, boom, 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 boom. You know, if you didn't have a 550 on the bar on deadlift day, like you couldn't even train with us. Like the weakest guy was that strong. Right. So it was like, you know, there were some really, really good years where it was like I was coming here really battling some fucking good athletes. And I think that really made me a better business guy. I think it made me a more like, just like more high performing person in general, because I always had that represented in my life. I never lost that after high school. I know, Eric, you got to experience it at other levels. Like you've competed for years. You guys understand what I'm talking about. A lot of people lose that and they don't even realize what they lost.
Right. Right. Well, and I think it's fascinating. There's so much that you just said there to unpack, and you know, just the different ways to kind of go about this conversation. I do want to, for our audience, that if they have just stumbled upon you for the first time, which is crazy, you said that magazine stuff 13 times on a cover. That's not just magazine stuff, okay? You mentioned businessman. You've had multiple companies. You've thrived everywhere you've gone, and I think it's important kind of to tell people about that story, because you probably feel the same way that I do about where I am. You're not supposed to be here, but you are, and you found a way. So let's go way, way back, man, to the beginning and talking about, you know, being a coal miner and coming from a coal miner family, and somehow we'll get there to the businessman that we're talking to today. But just your upbringing, man.
Yeah.
How do you think that shaped the dude you are today?
Well, what's awesome is everybody in my family lifted weights, but everybody did it as their hobby. And, you know, in coal country, Ohio, I'm from a town where there's no stoplight. I mean, I remember when I took my wife there for the first time, there was a piece of plywood in the middle of the town that said bulk trash pickup Wednesday. And she looked at me like she's from Cleveland area, which is her area is like bigger, not much bigger, but still bigger. She goes, "Is that how everybody in the whole town knows what's going on Wednesday?" I'm like, yeah. And so the funny thing is like, so you grow up in a small area where there is a lot of tough people, just tough people, man. They work 15-hour days underground, you know, or at the steel mill or carpenters or what have you. But so I just grew up around, I'm a 4th generation miner. So every level, my granddad, my great granddad, my dad, my uncles, they all is miners. And so that was just like a normal thing. But then a lot of them also lifted weights too. A lot of them were 300-pound benchers, like small, like jacked Italian dudes. My grandfather's actually a big English dude, like 6'2", 245, tough guy, World War II vet. He's the one that taught me how to lift weights. And so like, I was just around that. And so like, that's like the baseline, right? But the other baseline was nobody really necessarily loved their job. And so I did catch that. And then when my parents split, my dad and my mom split when I was about 11. And my mom just really struggled, man. She worked multiple jobs. We lived in the trailer. It was $150 a month rent. The ceiling's falling in. My uncle had to come and build a brace up to like hold the ceiling up. In the wintertime, I'd have to push snow off the roof so it wouldn't cave. Like shit that like turned me into an absolute animal. But at first it turned me into a person that was felt like a victim. Oh, why is this? Why has my friends got this and I ain't got that? Like I went through that whole type of cycle of things. Then it kind of flipped for me and I was like, well, I get a real opportunity here because I get a chance to like, maybe I could change all this. And something flipped when I was probably like 14, 15 years old. And I started talking about this narrative in my head. I think growing up watching Jordan helped a ton, to be honest with you guys, because, you know, I graduated high school in 97. So I watched, and I was a hooper first before I was a lifter. So like I watched all of that killer mentality, work hard, show up when the lights are bright type of stuff kind of growing up. And then when you combine that with this like baseline of work ethic of just like, oh yeah, we just work 12, 15 hours underground. That's like normal day-to-day stuff. And these dudes is strong. I kind of put those things together, and I was like, started with this narrative like, why can't I be the fucking rich uncle or grandpa that changes this whole thing? Why can't I be the person that says, man, once that dude was done, this whole family tree. So I think like I started getting this delusional like kind of like things that would go on in my head, and I used to start telling myself, man, I'm meant to do great things. That I feel out of place here. Like this ain't me. Like I'm not continuing this shit. This is like, I don't know. Like, and then it started becoming just like the work started like I started putting that together with the work. At first it was with basketball, and then I averaged about 4 a game. I could dunk and shit, like I was athletic, but I was like, all right, well, I can't even get recruited to play community college. I need to fucking,
my
I
dog
need
was
to
going
pivot.
to the NBA.
Yeah, I'm not going to the NBA. I need to pivot. So then I fell in love with lifting, and I was like, well, maybe I can be this like fictitious job I've never met anybody that's done called personal training. I mean, there's no internet. I've never met anybody that's a personal trainer. Ever. Like it never existed. So when I got the job in the coal mine, my stepdad was like, I know you want to try this thing, like this personal training job. All of them lifted weights. So they all thought like, okay, this would be cool if it actually fucking works. But I ain't got no money. So like I got, you know, the financial aid, like I was kind of on my own, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, I just got that job. I first got a job as a lumber stacker in a sawmill. So I worked in a sawmill. That actually helped me a ton because a lot of them dudes hated that job. So I was like, definitely not doing this shit. Then when I got the job in the coal mine, here was the pitch: $14 an hour, $21 an hour overtime, no limit on the hours worked. You can work as many as you want.
Just grind. Just go get
They
it.
had so much. Yeah.
Wow.
So my best week was 93 hours.
Dang.
But I averaged 75. Like, and when I was awake, I was lifting and, you know, studying and reading and just saving my money. And this is before direct deposit.
Mm-hmm.
So, dude, I would come home. There'd be like 7, 8, 9, 10 paychecks just on my desk because I wasn't even out of the mine when the bank was open. I was up. I was on the cage, meaning on the elevator by 5 a.m. I'd work till dark, come out, it'd be dark. When I had met my wife, which was my girlfriend at the time, I remember I quit one time at 4. I couldn't even drive my car. I was like nocturnal, bro. My eyes was watering. I hadn't seen the daylight in weeks. I was up, it was dark. I worked in the dark. I came out, it was dark. And I just was, I mean, to say I was single focused to get out is probably an understatement. I was like an absolute fucking killer. And I think that when it started to work and I got just a little confidence, like that first time that lady paid me for personal training, like, and I was like, oh, it's a fucking, I'm gonna kill everybody. Yeah. It's a wrap.
Yeah. So it's like you said, you're working and you're grinding, but even though you're stacking your money, you don't even have time to spend it if you wanted to because you can't even cash the checks.
Couldn't even cash. I mean, it's not even a stretch. It's hard for people to think about that because in today's world, I could hit Amazon real quick. It's direct deposit. That's not what it was. Like my shit was collecting dust because I was working so much. And I ain't never seen money like this before, guys. You got to think like I'm making like $1,500 a week or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And I was fucking poor.
Right.
So, you know, it was like, I started to get a little comfortable because I was like, damn, this is like really changing my life. I'm about to have some money for real. My stepdad looked at me. He's like, you're not staying here. Like, you got to go give this thing a try. And here's the thing is, I felt like I was playing with house money, guys. Like, I don't know if people realize that. Like, I knew, and I was good at this other thing. I figure, man, I'm getting on this cage. You're going down 600 feet. Sometimes I'd be riding 45 minutes, 8 miles into the coal mine to my job. Like, you get that to be your norm. You're on your knees, your back's rubbing the ceiling at 42 inches is how high the ceiling is. I'm shoveling for 16 hours and I'm handling that, then going and lifting weights. Like, bro, I just got a resilience to me that, like, I don't know if people really understand it. Now, thank God I didn't have to do it for 30 years, like the rest of my family. And what really kind of like changed my whole even dialogue on top of that was my great grandfather and my great uncle died in the coal mine in the 30s. when my grandfather was 9 years old, who taught me how to lift weights, he was already teaching him how to lift weights, 1935. That's why I have him tattooed on my arm. This is my great grandfather right here. And my chalk bowl here at the gym is part of his barbell sets. When they was round on each side, I cracked that thing open, and that's my chalk bowl in my gym. So like, there's a there's like a generational situation when it comes to lifting and with coal mining that I got to experience, but then break. And so that's what's like so cool. Like when people chirp at me, I'm like, y'all don't even know. Like this shit is so ingrained in what I do. Like, and I had to go through so much just to even get the opportunity to go to fucking community college to see if personal training could even be a thing. Bro, think about the shit I got going on now or the shit I had going on like here, and get out of here, bro. Like you know what I mean? Like it, so I think like that baseline of understanding about me, then you can see like the ups and downs of my life. Like it literally is all like, I can't even believe any of this shit. Even the down part is like, yo, I can't even believe that's happening. You know what I mean?
Right. Even your L's feel like victories at that point.
I feel like I'm winning even when I'm losing, fellas.
Exactly. Hey, that's the best spot to be in. So what kind of a switch was it for you? Like you said, you're riding the cage, you're riding, 600 feet out into the mine, 45 minutes to the job site, just grinding, switching from that or transitioning from that type of work ethic and mentality to personal training. Did you struggle with that mentally as far as like, I'm not working hard enough, just training this lady for the first time?
No, you know what's crazy as Ike is, I'll never forget it. This dude named Reggie that I learned from, he was actually Jason Taylor, the Hall of Famer. He was his roommate at Akron. He was he played DB. So he didn't make it to the league and he started personal training. And so my guy that I learned from, that was my teacher, Don Labenthal, who's actually still in my 4 a.m. crew. He's like in his 60s. He's a dog, bro. He was my teacher at Columbus State. I went to school 1 year at community college. He said, hey, you should learn from Reggie. This is the first time I saw like somebody probably making like 6 figures as a trainer. I'm folding towels for like $8 an hour. This is like 1998, 1999. He's killing it. So I'm watching this going, all right, yeah, I got this. Like, I'm not as good as this dude, but I see what he's got going on, but I also see the holes. Like, he was a little inconsistent. I think he was having some relations with some of the hotties. Like, there were some things going on that, like, I knew I wasn't going to replay.
All right,
whatever,
don't do any of those things.
Yeah. Like, I'm like, all right, Reggie, I'm doing this stuff. I'm going to not do this stuff. Anyway, but Reggie, honestly, he taught me a lot. And then Irene wasn't as serious. So he's like, Cory, you want to take her as a client? I charge her $20 an hour. And I'm like, yeah, please. Dude, she gave me 20 for that hour and I'm teaching her bicep curls. And first off, I thought this, man, I don't even know that much, blah, blah, blah. But shit, I know a lot more than Irene knows. You know what I mean? Like, and once you start to understand that, and I was like, yo, I was making 21 an hour for overtime for shoveling coal. This chick just gave me $20 to teach her shit I learned when I was 12 years old, and she thinks I'm awesome at it, and I actually care that she gets better. I'm like, this is a fucking rap, bro. I'm like, yo, this is a numbers game. And then I already know how to work hard, so to me, it was like, this is over.
Yeah.
Like, it's curtains.
Yeah.
And so, it wasn't really like, it was more like working hard in a different way.
Right.
But what I did know about myself is what I was willing to do. I think it was Mike Tomlin talk about capable and willing, right? I know that some people are capable, but they're not willing. And I think that I understood what I was willing to do. And in a lot of spots in my life, I think the coal mining has helped me understand that, because in that moment I had to say, I'm going to sign up for this situation to get a chance at this situation that is not guaranteed. And I look at those things, like I look at that mile lunge this morning is preparing me to hopefully say something today that maybe, helps somebody in your audience, like turn a switch on, right? Or the next person that asks me to speak in front of their team or whatever it is. And so I always look at those situations like I'm preparing for that next thing and what I'm willing to do. And it's just like, I just wanted to know what was possible, man, by somebody just tell me, yo, this is what you got to do. I just was tired of, I didn't want to replay the same thing.
Right.
So if I just had a path, I was like, yo, I will fucking do it. I'll get up at this time. I will do this work. I was just looking for a different life,
Yeah. Golly, man, that's it's empowering just to think of the supports you had from your family, because when people are stuck in a rut, They want others to be stuck there too, right? But for them to be like, nah, Cory, go. Like,
I don't even think they realized how crazy I really was, bro.
Right,
They was just
right.
trying to survive.
right. They just didn't know. But for
Yeah.
then you to go and execute it, and you talk about no social media, no internet, no cell phones. You get that first client and you say, okay, this is a numbers game.
Yes.
How do you get the 100th client? Like, what was the business model for you before things really just went astronomical?
Yeah, this is where two things. One, the way I was brought up, like small town USA. I really care about people. I'm a genuine person. My mom raised me that way. That reflected well. Because it's mostly like middle-aged women at first, because they're like, oh, I got a young trainer. He got some abs, you know. I'm like, yo, I'll play it up, whatever. I'll whore myself out a little bit, not fully, but you know what I'm saying. I ain't scared about that. I'm trying to get money, bro. So I'm trying to make this work. And I'm trying to get the fastest to 30 clients. 30 clients 3 days a week, 4 days a week, 5 days a week.
Was that your number? Did you just have that? Like, I got to get to that number.
Well, at first I was like, can I just pay my bills?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just
I had
doing the
low,
math, yeah.
I had low overhead at the time. So that was good. Like, you know, I think 12 clients paid my bills. Cause I even think like at one point my dad had to give me like $50 a week when I was in that. I had 10 clients. I needed like a couple, you know what I mean? Like I was close. And so the reality was, I think like once I got there, what's ironic about that is so I'm like 20. Right when I get to about that 12 clients, the new manager of this little gym I was working at came down, because I was just like a barbershop. I was just paying $200 a month rent, training. He comes to me and says, hey, you know, we're going to change it up here. We see you're doing good. We're going to start taking 30% of your money. So that obviously messes up my situation.
Wow.
And I was like, it was funny because I was like, all right, you know, I just didn't really say anything. Got on my little gangster Acura Integra I had at the time, drove my ass around and was like, I'm about to open my own gym. I ain't fucking doing that.
Wow.
Yep. So my ass, once again, I'm just like, I don't know any better. I'm naive, but I'm just not feeling that. I didn't like the way he talked to me.
Right.
I didn't like that mentality. And I was like, I'm not about to let this dude steal from me, essentially.
Absolutely.
So I drove around, found a spot. It was 900 square feet, which is actually.
He tells you that, and you find a spot.
I found a spot within that next week. I started looking that day, though, immediately that day.
Wow.
I'm in my studio right now is 1,100 square feet, to give you an idea. Like, it was smaller than this is like in my building, right? Yeah. And so I go and I find this. They're using it. It's in a mini mall. There's a Wonder Bread, which is like a bread. It's like a discount bread outlet on the front of this motherfucker. And it's inside this mini mall, and they're using it for a ladder closet to rehab the mini mall. So I call this dude like, yo, how much is that spot? I think that'll work for my first gym. And he's like, $600, 3-year lease. And I'm like, dude, I ain't never been in this world. And I'm kind of like, okay. He's like, but I'll give you, if you sign a 3-year lease, I'll give you 3 months up front. And I'm like, that sounds like a deal. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And then I think, well, shit. Okay. I started asking some of my clients. Some of my clients started giving me, I had some money from the coal mine, but not that much, because I'm like just trying to survive and be a personal trainer and all that. I'm out of school, my 1-year certificate. And man, I had $4,000 on a credit card, and I borrowed $1,000 from my friend, and he actually only had 900 because he said he spent 100 at the club. I mean, we're in college, bro, right? They're in college. I'm living at Ohio State, but I'm not going to Ohio State. And so anyway, so for $4,900, I start my own gym. I'm 20 and a half. I turned 21 in September. I started in July, and gym is a stretch, but it was a ladder closet, personal training studio. I took the door off the closet. That was my office. I had 12 or 15 clients that followed me there. I was in that place for 3 years, man.
Wow.
Grinding 3 years till I was stepping over people, then got bigger. So I went from 99 to 2000, in like late 2007, personal training, in person, building my craft and my business. And I just always, even then, I got to be good in my town before I can be just good in my city. I got to be good in my city before I can be good in my state. I got to be good in my state before I can be good regionally. But I always thought I could be an industry like leader. Once again, delusional confidence. I knew I was putting the work in. I was competing in bodybuilding, powerlifting multiple times a year, pushing myself, going to the Arnold Classic every year because I live in Columbus, trying to talk to all the magazines. I'm drug free lifetime. So like a lot of guys a lot bigger than me, not that big of a dude, but I just kept getting leaner, kept competing, kept dreaming. Yeah, that's how it started, man. So I've been an entrepreneur, like for real. Like I haven't had a paycheck from anyone else other than a company I've created, unless I was like consulting or something.
Sure.
Since 1999, 27 years.
Man, that's crazy. Yeah,
I was like, this motherfucker.
Yeah. What's Nip say? No middleman. F the middleman. Proud to
That's
pay.
right.
Hey, and and Nipsey also says there's no traffic in your own lane.
Exactly.
And I fuck with that too. You see, I got him right here by Andrew Carnegie.
Right.
Listen, I'm a mix. This is my brain right here, by the way.
Right. Quick snapshot. Oh man. So what was it like? Like you said, your personal training in person to 07. You're going to the Arnold Classic every year. When did you get your first like big break, so to speak, in the fitness industry?
Yeah.
Just being surrounded, like you said, a lot of these other guys and athletes were bigger than you and just, of course, stronger and stuff like that. So,
yeah.
was that like?
I always tell this story. I was, I think it was Rich Gaspari was the first one that gave me like a chance to work at his booth.
Okay.
And so I was like, then I was behind the ropes. So at the Arnold, I mean, and for you guys that don't know, the Arnold Classic, biggest fitness expo on the planet, right? It just happens to be in the town. Westside Barbell and the Arnold Classic just happens to be in the town I live in.
Right.
Fucking lucky, right?
Crazy.
So anyway, I'll backtrack for a second. In like 99 or 2000, my wife was working at the bookstore at Ohio State. She got her education degree there. She used to be a teacher. And she worked with somebody that knew the lady that ran the Arnold Classic. At that time, their team was like real small, just a couple people, and then Arnold would come in town and whatever. And they were like, yo, do you want to sell programs at the Arnold Classic to get free tickets? And I'm like, yo, of course. So I'm the guy at 21, 22. I'm outside like, do you want to buy a program for $15? Like, that's me to get tickets. And I get a picture with Arnold. So now I'm like, yo, I'm in proximity.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty young. And I'm like, he don't know me or anything. I'm like walking by and they snapped a pic and gave it to me. I mean, it was like maybe a baby second, right? But the reality was it meant a lot because I was like, okay, like I made some progress here in a couple of years. What's really possible if I keep doing this? 15 years later, at the height of Muscle Pharm, I'm the main sponsor of the whole fucking thing, and I'm giving the trophy away with him. Man. On the fucking stage to Dennis Wolf.
Man.
Like, and and I'm going to his house for Christmas. Right. And like there was some wild shit that ensued. But if I backtrack, that was like really important because every year I get a chance to evaluate my progress by the Arnold Classic, essentially. Mm-hmm. And so I think that proximity to Arnold that first just allowed me to understand, okay, I'm in the room. He don't know I'm in the room. But for me, that was really an important understanding. And then Gaspari kind of puts me on, like I make $800 for the weekend. I'm working the booth. And then I'm going up to these magazines and they're really not like, they used to all have booths. You could go to Muscle and Fitness, Men's Health. They also have, it used to operate differently back then. So I could go and like at least get some FaceTime. So I paid, you guys are going to love this. I paid somebody that does senior pictures in Columbus. They don't even do fitness. I'm like, yo, I want to be a fitness model. This is like 2000, probably like 6 or 7, something like that, maybe 5. I'm like, I know you do senior pictures, but for like $250, like, I'm just going to come in here, Rip, can you just take some pictures? I mean, dude, I'm trying it all, right? My ass has got a binder. I'm going booth to booth. I'm showing these fucking people, dude, I don't give a fuck. I don't think you guys understand. Yes. I'm like, I'm the 170 at that point. I'm the 170 fitness guy. Put me on, blah, 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 blah. I'm sending this shit all over the place. I'm staying up half the night. Finally, bodybuilding.com for you guys, like they were starting to gain some notoriety at this point. I sent my picture in there. I got an email back from Jeremy DeLuca, who I ended up working with at a later time, who was one of the co-founders of it. He worked with me at MP too. And he's like, hey, I really like this picture. We're going to put it in an ad campaign. We'll pay you $500. So they bought a picture for $500 off the senior picture photo guy, put it in ads, Muscle and Fitness, Men's Health, full page. Dude, I thought I was on top of the fucking planet.
Right. Made it.
And I was like, yo. You know what I mean? And so that was the first time where I was like, okay, I cracked it just enough where there's separation in my local market where the trainer, the clients are like, yo, this is the guy that's in the magazine. And you could see how it kind of started to creep, that all that work, all those diets, all that discipline was starting to pay off.
Yeah.
Then I just started getting hooked on that. And then I was like, why can't I be on the cover of magazines? Like,
Right.
this is me. Like, I'm that guy. And I just kept pursuing it. And that really, then I started messing with my own supplements about that time too. And it was like, how can I create my own protein? I was just really curious about all
Right.
that stuff.
Right. Well, and I think that's what's fascinating because, you know, that's where we were first introduced to you, right? As
Yeah.
a couple of boys in Fayetteville, North Carolina, who are trying to get big and strong, and we're looking at, you know, all the .coms and all these things, and we're like, dang, this MP looks dope. It's black
was
and
dope.
lime green, Kelly green,
Yeah.
and you know, who's this ripped dude? Like, this is fire. Let's start taking this. So I need to know the
Yep.
origin story of that and just
For
how
sure.
you came up with it, where it came from, and you know, just how you started dabbling, as you just kind of alluded to, into your own stuff.
So you guys know Dr. Serrano because he
Mhm.
spoke at Sornex. So once
Yep.
again, Serrano lives in my town too, randomly. So so I was taking a product
Dude,
from a
listen,
company.
I don't know if you're a big believer or what, but you need to be. Like, God
Yeah.
is fully
Yes.
around you your whole
Yeah.
life. I mean, this is
No question.
amazing.
I
This
had
is
to walk through
amazing.
the door, but the opportunities were definitely like around, and I had to
Mhm.
recognize them. So here's what happened with Serrano. So I'm taking what's called Beverly International Ultra Size, which was a really big company within the natural bodybuilding ranks, and they did a newsletter. Once again, no real internet's starting, but it's not like crazy at that point. So I started taking their products like early 2000. I'm reading about it. I'm reading about Serrano. He's writing some stuff for him. I'm taking one of the products. Then somebody just offshoot mentions that he's from Pickerington, which is where Brian Peters is from, and it's like one town over from where my gym's at. So I started doing some research. I look up in the yellow pages, once again, back in the day, and I'm like, yo, this motherfucker is like one exit away from me. I'm just going to go to his office. He's a general MD, but he specializes in this stuff, right? So I start showing up. Like the third time I finally like see him, he's like, what the fuck do you want? Like, and I'm like, bro, I think we need to be
I
friends.
can hear him saying this. After
Oh,
hearing this
yeah.
speak, I can
So
hear
I
him
tell,
saying it.
who's now my Puerto Rican dad, basically, I tell him like, yo, I think we should be friends. I want to learn from you. I'm doing these bodybuilding shows. He's just kind of like, what? Like, he don't know me for nothing. But that started a relationship where he was like, all right, he kind of started testing me. Hey, do this and this. Tell me this. And he was like trying protocols on me, this creatine load, this high fat diet, this carb rotation. Because I didn't take drugs, I just expressed to him, I want to create drug like effects without taking drugs, from training, from supplementation, and from diet. And I'll follow it because I'm crazy like that. And I think he just enjoyed that he could say, Cory, I want you to eat 7 eggs at this time and then do that and do this cardio. And like I became a test subject for him and Mario Di Pasquale, who wrote the anabolic diet. And so this is what's crazy is my diet and supplement information comes from Serrano and Di Pasquale, who are legends. My, powerlifting comes from Westside Barbell, and my bodybuilding comes from Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like, you name another motherfucker that got that. Like, it doesn't exist, right? And so, but it's because I was like always trying to be around these people that I found out were great and were, I mean, thankfully in proximity to me. And I just was willing to put myself out there. And so anyway, so I started messing with Serrano and started to understand. And then I was like, once again, still pursuing the fitness thing. Well, I came into this one company out of Denver that started sponsoring me that I had never really heard of. And my former partner, he was an NFL guy. He played for Kentucky, and then he played for Northern Colorado. And I think he went in the supplemental draft. His name is Brad Pyatt. He played for the Colts for a short stint. I think he was in and out of the league for like 3-4 years. And he was the co-founder with me at Muscle Pharm. And so he owned this other business at first and sponsored me. And then it went out of business. Something happened. I never heard from him for like 6 months. And then all of a sudden he just called me one day and was like, hey, I'm thinking about starting this other company. I want you to work for me. And I was like, yo, I'm not working for nobody. I ain't never really worked for nobody. Right. And I was like, but send me the product. And he sent me he sent me a salt, which was our pre-workout back in the day. And I took it to Serrano immediately. And I was like, Eric, what you think about this? He's like, whoever put this together knows what they're doing. He's like, and that's when 1,3-dimethyl was real popular, like Jack 3D and shit. And we were like, yo, we know this shit's about to get banned. We want to do something for the athletes, right? And Brad ran a 4.24. That's how I got signed in the NFL. He's like one of the fastest white dudes of all time. And, and I got this fitness side of things, and combined with kind of like our, shared like pursuit of like athlete fitness and just like the marketing. And it took a little while to end up to the black and green like it did. We came up with Muscle Pharm and co-founded it in 2008. And what's wild about that is it's a blur, guys, because, we were UFC 96 first sponsors. We ride that. We end up with Mike Vick, Ocho Cinco, CT Fletcher. We're bodybuilding.com. I'm one of the first people matching content with supplements and with that age of social media and interaction all at the same time. Obviously we have the, the opportunity to partner up with Arnold Schwarzenegger too, and Tiger Woods. And from 2008 till 2000, maybe like 13, we grew like 400% a year every year.
Wow.
And it was honestly, it was a problem though. Like you never have enough money, you never have enough product. And it honestly, I think that's part of the problem is like we caught lightning in a bottle in so many spots. It was almost like we didn't have enough talent. This is just my opinion, and Brad might tell you something different, but like we didn't have enough talent to handle the growth.
Right.
And so I'm a personal trainer making $100,000 a year. You think I know how to fucking manage 1 million bottles of pre-workout in the warehouse? Go get fucked. Like, I'll just be honest, like that's not me, right? Where I fell into my natural, the guy I was trying to be, like when I was going to the Arnold Classic, is the guy I got to be. That was my role. I'm the customer. I'm the person that's inspiring people and keeping people on the products and giving them value and getting them results and inspiring them and doing the content. I'm like a one-take homie. They put me 4-day photo shoot, video shoot at bodybuilding.com. I do it in a half a day. Like I was meant to do this shit.
Hey,
I've
but
been
get your
working
money
on it.
though, just
yeah, exactly. Like I just say, hit the fucking button. Like, let's go. And I was ready for this because I had been working on my craft for so long. And I truly live, this shit ain't fake. I live this shit every day. Like I love the barbell and the push, right? So I was like made for that role. And so, what you guys saw was, shit. And probably when it started really getting popular, it was like 2010 or 11. Yeah. Man, I had been in business for 11 years and, 3 years into that. And so I was like, by the time I got around Arnold, like I had been in business like 13, 14 years and spent a lot of time. I was a confident person, had hit a couple covers and really knew like I just felt like that I was where I was supposed to be at. Like so it was one of those things where I now look back as a much more like seasoned business person because now I've been an entrepreneur for a really long time, understanding how that definitely faltered. So what's interesting about Muscle Pharm is it was a grand marketing success. And dude, I think at the top we did 170 million, but I think we spent 175 million. So, I mean, we thought we were going to be $500 million. I'm not fucking playing. Like I was trying to sell to, we almost sold to GNC at one point. There was a bunch of different type of stuff like that. But really when that thing was kind of had its run and I'm, sitting courtside, cage side at the UFC, I'm going on fucking vacation with Dana White and shit with like the other sponsors. And I'm at Arnold's house for Christmas. I'm doing shit like I'm walking in the foyer to go to the bathroom and Stallone's walking by. It's like shit I didn't even think was going to happen, bro. I'm training at freaking Gold's Gym and Lou Ferrigno comes over to fucking talk to me and ask me about sponsoring his show. And like, I used to watch Incredible Hulk growing up. I mean, shit is like blowing my mind, bro.
Crazy.
Yeah, crazy. I'm throwing the ball with fucking Johnny Manziel after we're hanging out. Like, I mean, dude's wild. But the reality is when it was all kind of shook out and done and I, chose to sell my percentage and move on, it was like, I had a hard time wrestling, like, is this a success or a failure? Because, like, there's two ways to look at it. I got notoriety and a shitload of lessons. But then it was really on me to go build my wealth after that, which a lot of people don't understand that. They thought when that thing was done, like, I was just good. And it's actually not the truth. And I don't mind being transparent about it because I'm really proud of what I built after that because I had to, like, I sent in my resignation or did whatever, sold my percentage and was like, took a deep breath, and I was like, okay, I had a non-compete for a period of time with supplements. I started my training app because I had a shitload of people doing my, my workouts. I was ahead on that. And then I signed with Reebok as a paid athlete, which was a really cool opportunity. And I was like, yo, now I need to like teach myself better financial IQ, invest in some fucking stocks, real estate, build more businesses, teach myself like really how to be a wealthy dude. I have notoriety and I have understanding, and I got my ass kicked. Now, and Arnold said this to me, which was so fucking important. I ran into him at Gold's Gym right after he had left and I had left and Tiger was gone. And he said, you want to go to breakfast? And I'm like, yeah, of course. Right. So I go to breakfast with him. He goes, well, now you get a chance to show like, was this like a fluke, or are you this type of guy that goes and builds multiple 7-figure type of things? And are you a resilient person now can stand up and, and go build something else great? And I was like, I already knew the answer, but hearing the GOAT and my idols say that to me, like at breakfast, like in a way kind of challenging me, because I think he knew what I was about, which is why he worked with me in the first place. And still to this day, I have a great relationship with him. And man, I left that meeting going, yeah, I already know. Like, and then I'm really, I went and built multiple 7-figure businesses since then and built a really, really great life for myself. And I also built it with the way I wanted. I was like, yo, this thing turned into something I didn't even really like, to be honest, guys. And I was like, fuck it. I'm built. Old school gym's my dream gym, not the 30,000 square foot gym we had to look fucking pretty on social media. That really wasn't me. So I went back to my roots, built, multiple 7-figure situations that I'm real proud of. And, just really taught myself like financial IQ. And I've been building assets and building businesses, for the last decade, and build myself a life I'm really proud of, which is why we got Muscle Island now. We got the gym, we got all this. And like, yeah, I'm really thankful. It's been a wild ride.
Yeah, every time you look up, it's like you're doing something different, man. When we saw you building that island, I was just like, this is unheard of. But like you said, you're a guy who's unheard of, so it's all good, man.
Hey, the island reminded me of who I am. That's what I like about that. Like I needed a challenge for like the financial IQ part of how to move that money and do these assets and develop something that was from raw to ready to build and getting that equity increase and doing all of this. And like, I just like that challenge of like seeing it and then creating it. And like, I always say like, I can't sing or draw, but I operate like a creative, because a true entrepreneur is a little different than I think just a businessman. A businessman, like people do both.
Yeah.
I think I'm more on this side. Like I visualize, I can see it, I can put the work around it. I have a hard time keeping track of it after it's going. So like I know that about myself, but when I stood on that island, I swam over to it, walked up on it. It's an 1.5 acre island for you guys that don't know. And I'm standing on it and I'm just like taking a deep breath going, yo, is this me? Like, can I see someone else developing this? And would I be mad about it? Has this been everything in my being just said, yo, this is waiting on you. The lake got widened in the late 1800s. It'd been sitting there that whole time,
man,
waiting for your boy
That's
to
incredible.
go take it.
Come through and clear it out. Right.
It's wild.
That's awesome, man. So like you said, you've been in the game for a while. You've seen everything. You've done almost everything. How do you stay true to yourself in this space that's constantly evolving? And just like you said, there's no traffic in your lane, but how do you, stay grounded and make sure that you're not changing who you are?
That's interesting, because I've struggled with not changing who I am, because I definitely know that part, but changing like maybe even how I display it, because of like, who am I? Like I struggle sometimes a little bit, like, what do I need to be showing to inspire, like how I inspired you guys, right? And I started to notice myself like take it down a little bit, because I think the world is not as hardcore, if I just got to be straight, right? Yeah. Softness factor is at an all-time high.
Sure. Yeah.
And I started to realize, like, I don't really think that's my lane, as you see now with the 1 mile lunges. I think it's the other thing. It's like, okay, well, if G's doing a mile, I should be able to do a 1/4 mile.
Yeah.
The fuck am I doing? You know what I mean? Like, and that's the response I've been getting. And part of it is being healthy enough. I mean, I pushed the red line for a long time. So I had some injuries I battled through with competing and whatnot. So it's like, now that I'm healthy again, I'm like, yo, this is my lane. My lane is that maybe I shouldn't be here. I'm not supposed to be able to do these things, but I just am, and I do. And I've continued to do them for a really long time. And my shit is tried and true. Like, my results I get in my transformation contests are fucking wild. They've been wild for a decade. I've been wild for multiple decades. Like at some point, people just got to go, oh, this dude knows what he's talking about. You know what I mean? And so I think that there's part of that. I think social media, I've been on social media since fucking 2010. So I'm a little bit like weathered by that. I'm not going to lie, 16 years of posting on a regular basis. But here's what I do know. I have these in-person events. We have a Muscle Island event coming up on June 27th. People travel from all over the country to come see us and take part in that and lift it. We do lifting parties, kind of like Sornex and stuff. And it's like, dude, the way that I've impacted people, when I was in that coal mine, there's no way I could have conceptualized what was possible for my life. So I just know if I just keep being Cory, and there's goods and bads to this, meaning like sometimes I miss industry trends I still would actually like because I ain't paying attention to no one else.
Right.
I don't really fucking care, to be honest. Even when we was at Muscle Pharm, I paid attention to Nike and Gatorade. I didn't give a fuck what anybody else was doing. And so I've really I think growing up without the comparison of social media actually helped me because of my age.
Sure.
I'm 47, I'll be 48 this year. And so it's like, I think that helps with that mentality. And I just need to lean in more to that. And the people that really fuck with me for like a decade plus, like you guys. Right. And that's just the way that I think I need to continue to operate. I'm really proud of like the ups and downs and like the body of work, but I also don't feel like I'm done. I don't know if you ever feel like that, if you're really pursuing fulfillment and trying to be an elite high performer. Man, I just want to push and see what I'm capable of. And I just don't know that that'll really change for me. It might evolve. It's not maybe as 700-pound squats anymore, at least right now. I'm not all the way ruling it out because I lunge a mile for 100 days. Shit might feel a little different under the bar. Just saying. But, so anyway, but I do love that. That pursuit and that inspiration to other people is like an oxygen that like doesn't really like, it just always feels like that's where what I should be doing. And I just have this like thought process of like something I said or did could trigger that kid that was in that trailer to go, that dude like isn't really that gifted. Like I could do that or a portion of that. And the same thing I used to go to Arnold's house for Christmas, right? And I would be smoking cigars and taking it all in. And I would come out of that and be like, why am I capping myself? Like there's so much possibility in this world. In my own way, I'm trying to do that for my community. That's when they come to the island and they stand on it. It's different than seeing it on social media. You're standing on it. You watch that process of me building it and barging this stuff over and cutting these trees down and dreaming of this. And like, you're standing there and like, I'm trying to give that in my own way to my community, that inspiration, like different. Not I'm flexing on Instagram because I got an island. I have a hard time saying it. It sounds like a dick. I don't even like saying it that often, but it's just the reality of what I executed. And I'm trying to help it to inspire people. That's the plan.
Well, I think what is so contagious about it is how authentic it is. Like it's you, and you have always been you, and you're unapologetic about that. And at the end of the day, the money, the fame, the people you're with, you're still that coal miner from a trailer. Like that's your mindset.
That's what I see.
Right. When you look in the mirror, it's that's you, and you're never. Not that you want to go back to it, but you're never going to let that happen, right? And you're going to keep fighting. And I think it's what you just said about, can someone hear this and be empowered by it, that I'm not special, you can do this, but are you willing to work for it? Are you willing to put in the hours, the sacrifice, the blood, sweat, and tears? And everybody can control that. You don't need some lucky break. Go get your break. Go make your break.
I produce, like, I know how I got here. Yeah. That's the thing. Like, that's what I'm kind of pulled. Like I was saying on Fridays, I have business coaching clients because like I'm just pulled to help people. I felt lonely a lot because I was in this like maniac mindset. No one knew what I was doing. My friends had an intervention with me when I was like at college living with them because I wouldn't party with them on Thursdays and Fridays because I was starting my business. I was like, you motherfuckers is crazy. I came in like, what? I'm on heroin or some shit. Like they're sitting down with me. I'm like, yo, gee, we're worried about you. Yeah, like, man. And I'm like, y'all motherfuckers is crazy. You know what I mean? But I was just always kind of like ahead on that stuff. But I grew up quick because of the kind of how I came up. And so I don't know. I think that like, I want the fucking, look, I'm not going to pass up the notoriety because I know I worked for it. I like the nice stuff. I was poor. So look, people say, oh, money don't buy. Look, I'd rather have money every day than not have money. Get the fuck out of here. So I'm not going to be the guy that ever says, oh, don't get the Ferrari. It's not worth it. Get the Ferrari. You tell me you don't want it.
That's right.
Get the fuck out of here. So like, you know what I mean? But I'm also not the person that's flexing my Rolls Royce all the time neither. I drive a fucking 93 Toyota most of the time. So it's like, it's just one of those things like, go get the stuff, go get what you want. But it's like, I've always saw that other person and I could have just stayed that person. And that's what's crazy to me. I was saying this to the Sisu sauna guy. Pete came, we did a collab project on the island. He just brought a sauna. We barged it over, super sick. And I told him, I was like, bro, if I would have just stayed in that comfortable mindset, I'd have left all this on the table.
Right.
Dude, my life's been crazy because I didn't do that.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's, but once again, like, that's why I'm pulled to teach it. Cause I know how I got here. I know there's some luck, but also you produce your own luck. I know there's a lot of lonely mornings and a lot of lonely nights and a lot of fucking staring in the mirror going, oh, fuck, I feel like I'm going to break, but I didn't. Or if I did, it wasn't for very long. And, you know, I don't know, like I didn't leave it, dude. There ain't nothing on the field, fellas. Like, I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? That's how I feel.
That's what I think, again, is empowering and should be for other people. I'm going to let Ike dive into Mac's effort here in a second because I think he still is eating the bars. Like, if y'all were like, whoa, where'd all this inventory go? It was Ike. But I do want to like lay out right here for a second. Like, for those people that are maybe scared to take that leap, whatever it is, like what can you share with them mentality wise that got you out of the coal mine, got you out of the trailer to just help them just take the step, the step?
That's a great question. And here's how I always explain. Okay, whatever the step is, go to the worst case scenario first. Can you live with that? And if you can, so my worst case scenario was I go to Columbus, it doesn't work, I go back to being a coal miner. When I signed that lease, I literally thought as I was putting my name on it, I know how much I can make as a coal miner each week. If I got to fucking go home, live with my mom, and work underground to pay this lease, I'll do it.
Wow.
So I never thought about it again. I evaluate the worst case scenario, and then I only think about winning after that. Get out of the fucking way.
Yeah.
That's it. And so like, I don't ruminate on it. I don't think, oh my gosh, I'm like, I can live with this if it's the worst case scenario. If I can't live with the worst case scenario, I'm not going to do it.
Right.
So, you know, and so in all of these quote unquote, it's calculated risks, all these calculated risks that I've taken, I've went to the worst case scenario first and I was okay with it. And if I was okay with it, cause I was good at coal mining, like I was like, yo, I'm bred to do this, but I'm meant for something else.
Right.
So it's like, if I'm cool with that in every scenario, okay, I give away my clients, I start Muscle Pharm, it doesn't work, I can just go back to being a personal trainer.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't get this island figured out, I'll fucking sell it. If I can get the utilities on, it's already worth $250,000 more. Fuck it. Like, so I look at those things like, I used to love the dudes at Westside be like, you're not going to fucking die under the bar. I mean, yeah, maybe if we fucking let it fall on you, but like, you know, that literally, that I think that mentality of those heavy weights, and you guys can, you know, understand that. It's like, I'd get ready to squat 700 and fucking Tony Ramos would be like, show them they came to see the show, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like it was just like that mentality of like, you know, watch this. Like fucking, so it's like, evaluate the risk. You're not going to fucking die. You're okay with the shittiest situation. Watch this, motherfucker. And that's the mentality that I've taken. And then because I'm willing to hit the alarm clock and do the consistent work. And here's what I realize, you know, when you don't believe you're gifted, and I do have, like, I'm bouncy naturally. Like, I got a couple things I am gifted in, like, and I understand that. Not like pro level gifted, but gifted more than the average guy. But when I realize, like, but the consistency makes me stand out.
Yes.
And I'm reliable, and then people know what they get with me. And see, that's the thing that I understood as a businessman and as a content creator. Like, when people can rely on me, and even as a personal trainer, I mean, straight up, like, they couldn't rely on Reggie.
Right.
And I think that's why I ended up with almost all of his clients.
Right.
I was taught that early, and they couldn't rely on maybe this influencer, but they could rely on me. I'm still here. I'm still like helping people. And so it's because this isn't just because it's cool. It's because it's what I do. It's not I remind people a lot, this isn't my hobby. This is my job. I'm a professional at this. Like your cousin lifts weights and might be a trainer. That's not me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I'm not just the guy that put fit in my bio.
Right.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, you
like,
live this. You have been living it.
For real. I have been living it like longer than some people have been alive.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So there's some things like that sound maybe arrogant sometimes to say out loud, but sometimes I have to remind people like, yo, I'm not just some brand new influencer.
This is it. You can't mistake the arrogance for the facts, man. So you just gotta take it.
Yeah, exactly.
Take it for what it's worth. So like we previously touched on, man. Like we just saw you down at Summer Strong a couple weeks ago as a sponsor. You're debuting the new protein bars, the Max Effort bars.
Hype.
What is next? Because like Eric said, man, I was eating those things for like 2 weeks straight, and hey,
good.
The
bro.
real
We got
deal,
2 new flavors dropping. Actually, they come next Wednesday. Yeah, we got
coming up.
Cashew cinnamon and peanut butter fudge.
Come on,
come out next Wednesday. And here's when I created these bars, I wanted to make sure athletes could eat a couple of them if they want to. You could, your mom can eat them, kids can eat them. Literally, like everybody can eat these bars. And they're the cleanest thing I ever made. No added sugar, 150 calories, 16 grams of protein, just like super high quality. Man, I made them bright colored so the kids want to eat them. Like, I just think like this is my 4th protein bar. And this is just like anything in life, man. You just learn so much each time. I thought the last protein bar iteration had a lot of good qualities, but it had a bunch of hoops. A lot of the nutritionists couldn't buy it because of the creatine in it. This one does not have that in it. And it just like, it is, I don't know, I'm really proud of that. And here's what we're doing with with Max Effort in general. We have the Mafia subscription. So it's like any 3 products you buy for $100, you're on subscription, you get free shipping, you get a huge discount, like 30% discount, and then you can come to in-person events. So like all the people coming to the island, we'll have like 125, 150 people at the island. They're all part of that membership. That's it's awesome. Like, and we just like, we host like 4 to 6 events. Plus we have the transformation contest where I'm giving a Mercedes away, a Rolex. Like we done have thousands of people getting crazy changes. So with the world of peptides and TRT and all this hacks, I'm still out here preaching work, eat good, take your supplements. Like it really is like nothing's really changed. There's a lot of things around it that have changed, but the results is crazy. The message is still the same. And it's still yielding a crazy amount of results. The protein bars, I think, will help us get out to more people because of the way people are, eating bars and drinking energy drinks at this point. So I'm excited about that because I think it can get the brand out to more people.
Yeah, no, it's listen, you didn't ask us to do this. You're not paying us to do it, but it's one of the best bars I've ever had. It doesn't taste chalky. It's not gross. And I'm excited.
Doesn't hurt your stomach. It's good.
Come on. I'm excited for these new ones.
Yes, sir.
Cory,
appreciate that feedback, guys.
Yeah, this was awesome, brother. Thank you for your time. We know you're a super busy man, so sitting down with us, just talking about all this was really fun. And I hope, like you said, somebody somewhere hears your story and they're like, "Gosh, dang it! Just put one foot in front of the other, lunge a little bit, and you'll figure it out."
Exactly.
Get the fuck out of bed.
That's right.
No, I appreciate you guys. Look, I was excited. I was so excited to see you guys, Coach Storm, Sean. I never felt more small in my life in that picture, though. My wife was like, "Yo, man, you look little with these guys." I'm like, "These dudes is all huge. Like, this is why I didn't play any level of sports. Like, this is clear."
It's your bodyguard. It's your bodyguard.
It was unbelievable going to Sorenex, seeing you guys, at least once a year. Obviously, Eric, I saw you at the game down at Florida State too, which is really cool to see you in action on TV, like from afar, just watching you pull all these weights all these years. Like, it's cool to be able to create a friendship with other like-minded killers. And so anytime you guys need me, I'm an easy yes. So just let me know.
Appreciate it.
I'm back.